Hey, this is David with Ultimate Survival Tips, enjoying the great outdoors today in the beautiful highlands of rural north central Pennsylvania. Okay, well, I'm really excited because today we're going to take a look at a promising newer survival knife from SOG Specialty Knives, the SOG Force. I'm going to have some fun with this knife by bashing it through a car window, doing some bushcraft, and we'll even see how it performs as a throwing knife. We'll check out the SOG Force from every angle, talk about who this knife is for, who should think about a different knife. And before we're all done, I'll show you how to make this knife package into a really nice survival kit that will serve you really well whether you're in the battlefield or the backyard. Well, as usual, we've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. The SOG Force fixed blade knife was released in mid-2011 as a capable survival knife patterned after the almost legendary SOG Seal Team line of knives. The biggest difference between the SOG Force and the SOG Seal Team Elite is the blade design. The SOG Force has a drop point blade compared to the clip point blade of the SOG Seal Team Elite. Drop point blades are probably the most popular blade design for a modern survival knife, and there's really a good reason for this. Drop point blades have a convex curve on the back towards the point, which makes a really strong point, but a drop point is a little less suitable for piercing than the clip point of the SOG Seal Team Elite knife. The SOG Force blade is a pretty healthy 6 inches in length compared to the extreme 7-inch blade of the SOG Seal Team Elite. The SOG Force blade is a 100% fine edge knife from handle to tip with no serrations, which I know will make a lot of you serious bushcraft dudes happy. Now when you search online for the SOG Force, you may find some photos or legacy web pages that talk about it having a partially serrated edge. That's because the first production run of the SOG Force had a blade that was partially serrated. However, all SOG Force knives that are now coming off the production line are available only with a straight edge. Okay, so then the big difference in the edges of these two knives is that the SOG Seal Team Elite blade is serrated for about 2 inches towards the handle, and the SOG Force is only available in the straight edge. The SOG Force and the SOG Seal Team Elite blades are both made out of AUS-8 stainless steel, which is a very nice steel when heat treated properly, and excellent heat treating is something that SOG is known for. The SOG Force blade is coated in a black titanium nitride finish, which makes the steel even more resistant to rust. Like the SOG Seal Team Elite, the SOG Force blade is nearly a 1/4 inch thick, and to top it off, this blade retains its thickness from the butt of the knife through the full length of the knife, and it doesn't start to converge to make a point till it's about a 1/2 inch from the tip. See this? This design makes the knife exceptionally strong for the entire length of the knife. And I can't even imagine what it would take to snap this knife blade. This blade's a real beast. And the great thing is you won't have to feel shy about whacking on the spine of this knife for bushcraft. So on the back of this blade towards the handle, there's a concave rasp that makes a good resting place for my thumb or forefinger and allows me to control the knife a bit better for finer tasks like carving and slicing. The SOG Force is full tang, which means the knife steel runs the full length of the knife through the handle. Full tang construction is regarded by most experts as the strongest possible way to build a knife. Oh, and I almost forgot. The overall length of the SOG Force is 11 1/4 inches from its tip to its butt end. The knife weighs about 10.5 ounces, which is surprisingly light considering the size of this knife and the thickness of the blade steel. The handle of the SOG Force is exactly the same as the SOG Seal Team Elite and is made of glass reinforced nylon, or GRN. The handle is notched in a diagonal checkered pattern for maximum grip. The SOG Force handle is hard and very durable, and because it's overmolded onto the blade steel, there's no need for screws, nuts, bolts, and there are no seams to this handle. You kind of get the feeling when you hold this knife that it could survive an apocalypse and is about indestructible. The SOG Force knife handle is not going to skin up nearly as easily as handles overmolded with softer, rubberized type grips. But on the flip side, although this handle is comfortable enough, its hardness and its raised rasp grip pattern could be a bit rough on bare hands if you use it for extended periods of time. For protection, this handle has a nice flare by the forefinger to prevent your hand from slipping onto the blade. See? And for extra stability and grip, there are concave cutouts on the bottom side of the handle. See this? Plus, being around 5 1/8 inches in length, there's plenty of real estate to this handle to accommodate large and small hands well. The SOG Force is nicely balanced with the center of gravity just under the forefinger when gripping the knife. The balance of this knife makes it feel a lot lighter than it actually is, and it's really quite agile for a knife of this size. One of the tasks I often put a good survival knife through is a no-spin knife throwing test. I generally find that a well-balanced survival knife will also throw nicely. Okay, so here I am throwing 3 SOG throwing knives followed by the SOG Force. I found the SOG Force easy to control and honestly much more accurate and pleasurable to throw than the SOG throwing knives. SOG Force stuck almost every throw and usually ended up closer to my intended target. All this to say, if you need to throw the SOG Force, you certainly can with some practice. And all this because it's well designed and well balanced. Okay, now one of the few drawbacks to this handle is toward the butt end. Many survival knives flare or curve at the butt end to give you more grip for bushcraft stuff like chopping. Kinda like on this knife. So because the SOG Force doesn't have a rubberized grip or a butt end flare, the knife can tend to occasionally slip and slide around in your hand. But chopping is certainly possible with this knife, but you just have to grab the knife a little tighter. Now towards the butt end of this knife we have a nice oversized lanyard hole that's a full 1/4 inch in diameter, and beyond the butt end of the handle, the knife steel juts out into a pretty aggressive and substantial pummel. This pummel comes to a point which makes it better for breaking things like glass than the flat-ended pummel on the SOG Seal Team Elite. However, both are very effective glass breaking tools. So I can't resist. Let's take this knife out back and bust through a car window with it. See how it does.
So let's do it.
Yeah, so the SOG Force pierced through the car window just about as easily as my Gerber LMF2 ASIC, which also has a pummel that comes to a point. Okay, now let's talk about the sheath. As far as I can tell, the nylon sheath of the SOG Force is exactly the same as the sheath for the SOG Seal Team Elite. So this sheath is made of heavy-duty ballistic nylon. It really feels tough and durable in my hands. The craftsmanship of the sheath is really evident in the triple stitching along the edges of the pouch. There are also 7 rivets at key stress points around the sheath. 2 along the top, 2 where the pouch meets the sheath back, 2 at the bottom, and 1 in the center of the sheath just below where the point of the knife and the internal blade guard rests. 4 of these rivets have grommet holes in them. These holes are great for lashing the sheath to things, lashing things to the sheath, or tying the bottom of the sheath to your leg during belt carry. On the front of the sheath there's a nice sized pocket with an adjustable Velcro strap, perfectly sized for holding some gear like your favorite multi-tool, fire steel, a sharpener, and even an extra 9mm magazine. Okay, so there's a polymer sleeve inside the sheath that holds the knife tightly and prevents it from slicing through the nylon. Can you see it? Another thing that I really like about this sheath design is that it allows for right or left-handed carry. Okay, now there's a nylon strap with Velcro that holds the knife handle tight against the top of the sheath. If you've seen any of my other videos, I really don't prefer Velcro closure straps for holding quality knives because they can get full of dirt, leaves, and they can get gummed up over time and not work as well. Plus Velcro can be really noisy in the field, which is more of an important consideration for combat and tactical knives. I really prefer sheath straps with snaps. However, with the primary purpose of this knife being a survival tool, Velcro should work fine. So other than the Velcro closure system, the SOG ballistic nylon sheath is well built, tough, very functional, and lightweight. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The sheath really shines in the multitude of carry options that it offers. The SOG Force sheath is MOLLE compatible, and through the use of this crossing strap and snap system on the back, can easily be adjusted and securely fastened to just about any pack, belt, or vest. And this long rear strap is actually 2 lengths of strap, doubled over and sewn together. So it's not very likely that the strap is going to break or wear out, and I really like that it uses a quality snap to hold things tight. Owner reviews for the SOG Force are generally through the roof, averaging well over 4.5 out of 5 stars. Many owners comment on the SOG Force's tough build and quality materials. Many say that the SOG Force is built for a lifetime of use, and often comment that with the tough, overmolded handle, there's really nothing on this knife that could wear out. So we rate the SOG Force knife equally as high at 4.5 out of 5 stars for exceptional quality of materials in its price range, the tough, overmolded handle, its durability, edge sharpness, and retention, and how good this knife feels in the hand performs in the field. We reluctantly took off half a star because being primarily designed to be a survival knife, handle really could use a flare or curve on the butt end to aid in holding the knife for bushcraft tasks like chopping. And the sheath strap for a knife this quality really should have a snap instead of a Velcro closure system. All this aside, this is one of the nicest standard nylon sheaths that we've seen come with any knife in this price range. So who's this knife for? The SOG Force is an excellent survival knife for military and tactical applications, diving, hunting, camping, backpacking, extreme adventures, a bug-out bag or emergency kit, or for anyone who wants a nice, all-purpose survival knife that is designed for a lifetime of use and is ready for just about anything when called up for duty. Okay, now just in case you were wondering, the street price of the SOG Force often falls just under $100. Of course, it's not the cheapest survival knife, but if you want a rock-solid survival knife that's going to last, save up your pennies and consider the SOG Force. And to make this knife package into a really cool survival kit, just add to the sheath pouch your favorite multi-tool and the really innovative SOG pocket sharpener and fire starter. Then you'll have a really nice survival system that's ready to serve you well, whether you're on the battlefield or in the backyard. If you want to save some money or want a smaller survival knife, see my reviews of the SOG Seal Pup, the Gerber LMF2, the Gerber Prodigy, or for beginners, the Gerber Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife might be a good place to start. But if you want an even more aggressive combat, survival, or tactical knife, see my reviews of the Gerber LHR, the SOG Seal Team Elite, the Gerber Silver Trident, or the Schrade Extreme Survival Knife. So we've just taken a look at the SOG Force Survival Knife. For your convenience, I've included links to the SOG Force and all of the other knives and gear that I've mentioned in the video description on YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and check out all of our gear reviews and survival tips at ultimatesurvivaltips.com. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our new monthly survival e-mag. Okay, this is David. I hope to see you on the other side, and remember, be prepared because you never know.